Is it hard to access affordable, healthy food? Then listen carefully. Daryl Addison, an African-American inventor, has patented a process for growing food on demand. He called it Torpedo Pot. Torpedo Pot is a fully automated flower pot that gives you control over your plant's environment. All you do is add soil, seeds, and plants to the flower pot and watch it grow. Yes, Torpedo Pot grows the rest. Visit www.torpedopot.com.
So you have a brother by the name of Dion Middleton. He was a corrections officer out in New York. So he was out walking around, and you had this guy that's an 18-year-old man riding around, with people shooting at, people on the streets. And this brother, he ended up getting shot, by this toy gun. And so the brother thought that, hey, they shooting at me. So he ended up, returning fire, his firearm. He only shot one shot and ended up killing this guy. Now, he ended up getting charged and arrested, but the brother said that he was in fear of his life. Now, we've heard that so many times that, oh, I'm in fear of my life. I'm in fear of my life. That's all they say. I'm in fear of my life. We've heard it thousands of times to justify killing black folk. But when a black law enforcement used that same thing, hey, I was in fear of my life, why is it that he wasn't even arrested? Now, let me show you the clip of him, in court.
But just looking at the statement where he says, car comes, it's a silver car, like a mini SUV, car stops, I cross the street, and now I'm on the other side. I feel a stinging in my back to the point where I'm like, ow. It was like there was some glass. I'm walking towards my garage, the stinging is on my back. It's like shards of glass. I turn around, and the guy in the passenger seat of the car, I don't know exactly what he does, but he gives me some type of gesture with his hand. This is me. What the fuck are you doing? Because that shit hurt. I don't know these guys. He starts to roll the window up, and I guess the driver is now out in the intersection, which would be Morris Avenue. He's making a left. Where I work, I get hit with flyback all the time. That's what that shit felt like. I felt threatened. I took my weapon. I shot. So I guess you know where I'm going. I mean, I'd like your commentary on how that sequence, particularly with the driver rolling up the window and driving away, fits in with your self-defense arguments.
So let me have it fit in. First of all, flyback, Judge, just based upon what my client does as a firearm tactics and training unit instructor, has to do with fragmentation of bullets. Flyback is when bullets hit something, they fragment, and you get hit with flyback. It's a shard of the fragment which goes into your skin and it hurts pretty badly. And so what I'd like the court to do, what I'll be urging a jury at some point to do, is to evaluate this in context. A statement was made. Did he indicate everything around him? Did he indicate that literally the building, things are shooting off of the building at that particular point, which could have been flyback also? The fact that he wouldn't hear a pop or anything else means nothing in a day and age of technology where someone could get killed in this courtroom, God forbid, and no one hear a word other than somebody keel over. He's hearing things all around him. Did he mention everything in the statement that happened that particular night? He didn't. Listening to me, who you can credit or discredit, it's based upon the pretrial release assessment. It's based upon all the people who have showed up today in support of him, his family, who he loves and who loves him, his union. Everyone is here to say this is a straight-up guy in a terrible situation. No crimes to speak of his entire life at 45, not a misdemeanor, not a violation, nothing. 25 out of 25 on his release assessment, 93 out of 100 recommended for ROR. This is not a remand case, but it's not a murder case, and I would ask the court to evaluate it in light of what it is.
He ended up getting shot, by this toy gun. And so the brother thought that, hey, they shooting at me. So he ended up, returning fire, his firearm. He only shot one shot and ended up killing this guy. Now, he ended up getting charged and arrested, but the brother said that he was in fear of his life. Now, we've heard that so many times that, oh, I'm in fear of my life. I'm in fear of my life. That's all they say. I'm in fear of my life. We've heard it thousands of times to justify killing black folk. But when a black law enforcement used that same thing, hey, I was in fear of my life, why is it that he wasn't even arrested? Now, let me show you the clip of him, in court. See, I guess that I'm in fear if my life don't work for black law enforcement because it works so well for the white ones. We've seen that over and over and over and over again. Now, I'm more inclined to believe self-defense because he only shot one time. He didn't sit up there and shot the whole, magazine at the dude. Just one shot. So, yeah, I believe that's self-defense. If I was on that jury, I'm like, yeah, it's self-defense. That's exactly what it is because he only shot at him one time. He didn't just go up there and just keep firing. But even though some of them have done that, they still say, oh, it's self-defense, it's justified. See, they never want black police officers to have no kind of equality with them. Oh, no, 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 no. And see, let me tell you something else. They get high alert when a black person or a black officer kill a non-white person. They don't want that. See, if it had been a black person who done that too, he wouldn't be in no trouble at all. They were like, oh, good. He killed a black person, that's fine with us. But you touch anybody non-white, that's going to be a problem because they don't want that normalized that, black police officers are doing exactly what the white ones are doing. This brother should go home. This brother should be free. He shouldn't even be having no charges on him. Now, his union has stepped up and said something about him and fighting for him, but he shouldn't have no charges at all. You want to drop those charges on that guy with the bodega, you drop the charges on him. Well, shoot, you need to drop the charge for this situation. How is it they drop the charges on one, but not, even talking about dropping the charges on the other? Come on now. Eric Adams and D.A. Bragg dropped the charges on his brother too. It was you would take a stance, a hard stance on what it's going to be. Now, Eric Adams used to be law enforcement. He understand about that. But, it's one of those things that, they can't look out for black people when they're in public office. But y'all let me know what y'all think about, our brother here, like I said, I believe it's totally self-defense. Only firing one shot at the car, yeah, it's self-defense. Anything more than that, they railroading their brother.
Living in America as a black person, you recognize there is one set of laws for you and one set of laws for those, especially in the white community. In our book, Passive Aggressive Racism in the System of White Supremacy, I take you through times in my life when I first started noticing white supremacy. We teach you how to recognize it, identify it, and also counter it in our book. This book is a beginner's course for those that are just starting to wake up and open their eyes to see the system of white supremacy. As a black American person, you must understand this system because this system is life or death to you. How you handle it, how you deal with it, it can affect your mental health if you don't understand this system. Pick up our book, Passive Aggressive Racism and the System of White Supremacy, today on Amazon.